It's always fun to see actors from Asian countries appear in Hollywood films, a sense of pride and accomplishment that they have made it there. But what about the other way around? Hollywood actors who have starred or appeared in Asian films? Well, today I want to highlight this and talk about actors maybe you didn't know actually appeared in any of these. So let's start off with what will no doubt be the longest segment of this video. Being the second biggest market in the world for films, a number of Hollywood actors have appeared in Chinese films over the past 15 years or so, in an effort to appeal to both Chinese and American audiences. In fact, the first Hollywood actor to ever headline a Chinese film was none other than...
你好, 我是林珠. I'm actually your guardian angel.
Christopher Plummer. Inseparable from 2011. Chris plays a mysterious American neighbor named Chuck to our main character Lee, and they go out together to stop crimes and stuff, wearing their superhero costumes. Turns out though, Chuck doesn't exist and it's all in Lee's head. I don't know why anyone would want Chris as your imaginary friend, but there you go. Swedish character actor Peter Stormare also features in a supporting role. The film is fun, and Chris is admittedly great in it. Christian Bale in The Flowers of War was the next Hollywood actor to headline a Chinese film. Directed by Zhang Yimou, it's a very grim movie set during the Nanjing massacre. Christian Bale plays a mortician who pretends to be a priest in order to protect the kids there from the Japanese. Yeah, it's a tough watch. Knowing what the Japanese did during this time, bad Japan. Director Zhang Yimou would also work with 3 Hollywood stars in his film The Great Wall, which was a co-production with American film company Legendary Pictures. The film stars Matt Damon, going to the wall in search of gunpowder and ends up getting caught in the defense of China against these monsters. I want to address the utterly stupid whitewashing controversy that surrounded this film from people who have no idea what they're talking about or how this works. Matt Damon's character is European, though he keeps changing accents in the film.
Tell him there's no better weapon here.
So, how's life without me?
He was never meant to be Asian. He was cast in order for this film to appeal to both Chinese and American audiences. They love Matt Damon in China. Come on, they risked everything to save him from Mars.
他们的宇航员将会饿死的。
当然，还有其他的办法。
The film also really uplifts its Chinese characters. I mean, you have this scene with Matt Damon and Pedro Pascal praising how efficient the army is.
Look at this army. Have you ever seen anything like this? Incredible.
It's very much a Chinese movie, more so than an American one. You also have Willem Dafoe in the film, who is completely pointless. This next one is a co-production with Canada, so the whole film is actually in English, yet set in China. Outcast from 2014, starring Hayden Christensen as an ex-knight in China. He needs to protect the princess and the prince after the king is murdered by his brother. This film is bad. Choppy editing, bad wooden acting, and flat characters. Nicolas Cage does show up in the film and brings some life to it, with his odd accent and mannerisms.
You fucking opium. Keeps the ghosts at bay, huh?
But that's it. We can always count on you, Nick, to bring life to bad movies.
To the damned, each and every one of us.
In 2018, Michael Douglas appeared in the film Animal World, a loose adaptation of the manga series Kaiji, and this film is fucking crazy. A sort of survival thriller where people play rock, paper, scissors to wipe away their debt. He plays the host of the game, the main villain if you will, and he is devilishly evil in this film. It ends on a to be continued, so maybe another one will come out, ooh. Though with the legal trouble that lead actor Li Yingfeng is in, I don't think it will happen. I recommend this film, it's so good, go watch it. Also released the same year was Airstrike, a film set during World War II starring Bruce Willis as this American commander training the Chinese army while the Japanese keep bombing China. Look at all these scenes of mass civilian destruction. Bad Japan. Bruce Willis spends his time yelling at them and quoting Whiplash.
So you do know the difference.
An ensemble film with many main characters and plot lines is honestly too much for the 1.5-hour runtime, but Bruce Willis is in this film quite a lot. They even get him in a plane. We also have a random appearance from Adrian Brody as a doctor who gets killed in a bombing. Sure, why not? And Bruce Willis's daughter, Rama Willis, for a few seconds. Okay, yeah? Mel Gibson is also credited as, yes, that Mel Gibson. Strangely though, this film never got a release in China due to the tax evading controversy surrounding Fan Bingbing, who has a cameo in the film, but it did get a US release, and it's dubbed, so this is the only way to watch the film. Speaking of Adrian Brody, he has actually appeared in 3 Chinese films, the first one being Back to 1942 in 2012. The film is about the 1942 famine that happened in Hainan province. Adrian Brody plays a journalist documenting it. He is only in the first hour or so of the film, but he has numerous scenes. Tim Robbins also appears as a priest. He's in like 3 scenes. He's quite pointless, really. China submitted the film for the 2012 Academy Awards. They must have thought having 2 Oscar winners would boost its chances, but it didn't get nominated. The film is honestly too long, can get boring, and has too many characters to keep track of. The ending is bittersweet, but I don't recommend the film. Adrian Brody's 3rd film is Dragon Blade from 2015. Alongside Jackie Chan headlining the cast, we also have John Cusack playing a Roman general, and Adrian Brody is the villain of the film. It's a very interesting film, showing a period of history we don't really see, when the Romans went to China. I recommend it. It's very entertaining, though I don't buy John Cusack as a Roman general. Speaking of Jackie Chan, he was also in this film with Arnold Schwarzenegger called The Iron Mask. This film is sort of strange, because it is actually a sequel to a Russian film called Via, which I would describe as a fantasy mystery horror film, and at the end of the film they tease the sign that points to China, indicating the sequel. Jason Fleming plays Jonathan Green, a scientist who is mapping Russia and then into China. He reprises his role in The Iron Mask, though I would say he is more of a supporting character compared to the first film. His wife, played by Anna Cherina, also reprises her role, and she gets a hell of a lot more to do in the sequel. She is like the only one who has a scene with everyone in the main cast. Good for her, getting more to do. The actual title of the film is Via 2, Journey to China, but it was changed for some reason in the West. They really downplayed the fact it's a sequel in the advertising outside of China. Don't worry though, they recapped the whole first film in the opening. I find it funny though how Jonathan concluded that all the fantasy and supernatural stuff in the first film was in everyone's head. Now it's like, nope, it actually happened. Look, here is this fluffy creature from Russia, and there's a full-on dragon and a witch in this one. What? Arnie is such a delight in this movie, I gotta say. Since the film is pretty dull, but I was excited when he came on screen. Jackie Chan has been imprisoned in the Tower of London for like 30 years, and at the end when he is let go, Arnie accompanies him to China because he wants to see the dragon. But you see, as Jackie says, the dragon is all around us. Look at Arnie's face. It's hilarious. What the hell is this ending? It doesn't wrap anything up. Arnie got a Razzie nomination for this movie. How absurd. He's the best part of this film.
Of course you are. Where would you go? It's the tower!
Charles Dance is also in it, reprising his role from the first film. Very quickly now, we have Donald Sutherland in Big Shot's Funeral from 2001. Peter O'Toole in The Last Emperor, if that counts considering it was a co-production with Italy and the United Kingdom. Mike Tyson in Ip Man 3. Not an actor I know, but he is in it. Johnny Knoxville in Skip Trace alongside Jackie Chan. Scott Atkins in Ip Man 4 and Wolf Warrior. Then Frank Grillo in the sequel, Wolf Warrior 2. And Dave Bautista appeared in Master Z, Ip Man Legacy. So, the novelty of all this is, seeing that big named actor in these films. But with this last example, it was actually a particular character that they wanted. So look at this poster. Do you see anyone on it that looks a bit out of place? Yeah, I'm sure you see him now. He even got his own character poster. This film goes by the generic name Top Funny Comedy in the Movie. Apparently, it's based on a Chinese variety show, and yeah, for some reason, Mr. Bean is in it, with Rowan Atkinson reprising the role. Everyone in the film seems to know who he is and wants pictures with him. I wish I could tell you why he is in China, but I can't find this film with English subtitles, so I don't know. This film is so obscure it doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, and I honestly can't believe this exists. So, in Mr. Bean canon, he has actually gone to China. I know this next film doesn't really fit with the title of this video, but it is a nice segue into our next country. So, in 2017, Jackie Chan starred in a film called Kung Fu Yoga, a co-production with India, and features Indian actors Disha Patani, Sonia Sood, and Amira Dastur in supporting roles, with Sood playing the antagonist of the film. I love how he and Jackie are front and center on the Indian poster for the film, like they fight side by side when that doesn't happen. The film has a really cool action sequence in Dubai, but that's about it. It's a very forgettable movie. Jackie Chan does take part in the Bollywood-inspired dance number at the end, which is cool to see. Anyway, next country. Being the biggest producer of films in the world, you would think that a number of Hollywood actors have appeared in Indian films, but that's not really the case. When the film is set during British India, you will find British and Irish actors playing the parts. We saw it in RRR with Alison Doody and Ray Stevenson featured in the film, in Lagan, which features Rachel Shelley and Paul Blackthorne, in Mangal Paddy The Rising, which features Toby Stephens in a lead role, all depicting how terrible the British were during this time. And yeah, we were pieces of shit. Bad Britain. In my research, though, I have only come across 2 big-named Hollywood actors who have actually starred in Indian films. The first one is Ben Kingsley, who appeared opposite Bollywood legend Amitabh Bachchan in Teen Party. This film is a loose remake of that Christopher Plummer film, 22. Ben's voice is unfortunately dubbed in the film. Not sure why. Amitabh Bachchan can speak and understand English, so this puzzles me. The second one is Brendan Fraser, who appears in this gangster film called Line of Descent in 2019. I love how the cover of this DVD has him front and center as if he is the lead of the film. He isn't even introduced until like an hour into the movie. He's a supporting character. Brandon is very good in this movie, though. He plays an American arms dealer living in Delhi and gets caught up in the lives of these gangster brothers having a dispute about who should take over. It's a good watch. Now for cameo appearances. Demi Moore has a cameo in the film Love, Sonia, about child sex trafficking in India. Sylvester Stallone has a cameo in Kam Pakti Ishq. Will Smith has a cameo in Student of the Year 2. Don't worry, he doesn't slap anyone. From the film Singer's King, the title sequence music video has a special appearance from
Smoke weed every day.
South Korea doesn't have many examples, but there are a few worth mentioning. Director Bong Joon-ho made Snowpiercer, starring Chris Evans, Octavia Spencer, Ed Harris, John Hurt, and Tilda Swinton. While most of it is in English, it's a South Korean production, and his follow-up film, Okja, which was co-produced with the United States, features Paul Dano, Jake Gyllenhaal, Giancarlo Esposito, and Tilda Swinton, again, all playing supporting roles. The film is also mostly in English. In 2016, Liam Neeson appeared in Operation Chromite, playing famed American General Douglas MacArthur, who sends Lee Jung-jae from Squid Game on a mission to map out the mines and turn the lighthouse on so they can land on Icheon Beach during the Korean War. A sequel to the film came out in 2019 called The Battle of Jangsara, depicting said battle, which happened in 1950, as a distraction for the beach landing in Incheon. Megan Fox appears this time as an American photographer covering the war. Her scenes are so disconnected from what is happening in the main film. She has no scenes with the main cast and just sort of tells us what's going on. She is pretty pointless. The ending credits do show that she's inspired by real American women who were there, but I wish the film made her more involved since she feels really tacked on to the film. Unlike Liam Neeson, who is directly involved with what is happening, Operation Chromite is the better film. It's really intense, since Lee Jung-jae and his crew are spies, so in every situation, you're hoping they will survive. Liam Neeson's American accent is very questionable, though. Even less examples of this than South Korea, but probably the most famous Japanese film to predominantly feature Western actors is Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, starring David Bowie and Tom Cotty. Director Akira Kurosawa's film Dreams has an appearance from Martin Scorsese, so you know it is true cinema. Also, Kurosawa's film Rhapsody in August has a random appearance from Richard Gere, and that's all I could find in my research. Do let me know if there is any at all I have missed, and particularly from other countries in Asia, like, Thailand, the Philippines, Indonesia, if there's been any big actors who have starred in them, please let me know. And who knows, if there's enough, I could do a part 2. Thank you for watching.